Coming back to between subject designs, as we have mentioned that it required a separate independent group of individuals for each treatment conditions. So therefore, there are two or more than two groups which are involved in between subject design. And as because there are more groups or there are different groups, so each group receive only one treatment or it is passed through one conditions. So either they experience condition A or they experience condition B if there are two conditions. And therefore we have only one score for each participants because each group is participating in only one condition, तो इसलिए उनके पास या तो A का स्कोर होगा या B का स्कोर होगा. While in within subject design we have at least two scores for each individuals because all the individuals participates in both the conditions. So because different groups are compared, therefore this is called between subject designs. It is also called independent measure design because we are separately measuring the score for each individuals in both the groups. So the score of one individual in one group is not dependent on his score on the other group because he is not a part of that group, and therefore the two scores are quite independent of each other. When do we use between subject designs? So in cases where the independent variable is a subject variable. इसकी एग्जाम्पल ऐसी है कि जिस तरह हम एक स्टडी कर रहे हैं विच इज़ बिटवीन द इंट्रोवर्ट्स और एक्सट्रोवर्ट्स. सो बिकॉज इट इज़ अ सब्जेक्ट वेरिएबल, द इंडिविजुअल्स इन ईच ग्रुप may be either introvert or he may be extrovert, and individuals cannot be introvert or extrovert. Therefore we need two groups here, one of introverts and the second of extroverts, and therefore it is difficult to have within subject design in such kind of research. इसी तरह अगर हमारे पास एक ऐसा रिसर्च है जिसमें वी आर इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग द ड्रग एडिक्ट वर्सेस द नो ड्रग यूज़र, again individual can only be in one group and therefore there are two groups needed for this kind of research. इसी तरह if we are doing a research on married people versus non-married, therefore again we will need two groups. इसी तरह अगर हमारे पास adults और adolescents के बीच में कोई research की comparison है, again we will require the between subject design. And so forth, if our research is on gender, let's suppose comparison of male and female, again an individual can only be in one group. इसी तरह for different socio-economic status we will also require different groups. हाँ, हमारे पास ऐसी सिचुएशन हो सकती है कि जहाँ पे हम इन ट्रेड्स के साथ भी विद इन सब्जेक्ट डिज़ाइन यूज़ कर सकते हैं और ऐसी स्टडीज़ लॉन्गिट्यूडनल स्टडीज़ हो सकती हैं. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल अगर हमारे पास कुछ लोग हैं कि फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दे वर नॉन मैरिड and we take the data from them, and when they got married again we take the data from them. In this way we may have a within subject design if the study is longitudinal. इसी तरह we collect data from individuals which were passing through adolescence first, and then when they turned into adults again we take the data, and then this will make it within subject design. What are the uses and limitations of between subject designs? So the first use is that each subject enter the study fresh or once. Therefore there is no effect of the first condition or the treatment. कि जिस तरह हमने विद इन सब्जेक्ट डिज़ाइन में पढ़ा कि फर्स्ट कंडीशन के इफेक्ट एक इंडिविजुअल्स कैरी कर सकता है टूवर्ड्स द सेकंड कंडीशन, बट बिकॉज every group is involved in only one treatment and the group is not passed through different conditions, therefore there is no effect of the carryover effect. The second is that between subject design have shorter duration, or because there is only one treatment condition, therefore it is less tiring and less boring for the subjects, unlike within subject design. But the limitation of such design is that it requires large number of subjects to be recruited, to be tested and to be debriefed. क्योंकि यहाँ हमारे पास दो ग्रुप चाहिए. So because we have now two groups or more than two groups, therefore we will need more number of individuals or participants for such kind of design. And because of this, that we are involving more number of subjects or individuals, therefore there is more energy required for this kind of study, more resources, and it is also a costly experiment. The third is the problem of non-equivalent groups and the problem due to individual differences. क्योंकि हमारे पास different groups involved है और हमारे पास नॉन इक्वलेंट ग्रुप्स भी बन सकते हैं, तो अगर हमारे पास ग्रुप्स नॉन इक्वलेंट हुए, therefore the performance of the two groups will be difficult to compare. Similarly, the individuals in the two groups may enter the group with different traits, with different abilities, and because of these individual differences, the performance of the two groups will be difficult to compare. The last one is differential attrition. Attrition is when the individuals start leaving the group. अगर हमारे पास ऐसी रिसर्च है which is extended over a period of time which requires more time, तो इसमें हमारे पास ये प्रॉब्लम आ जाती है कि the individuals start leaving the group. तो अगर हमारे पास दो ग्रुप्स हैं और एक ग्रुप में से लोग जा रहे हैं, और if the people are leaving from even both the groups, we may be left with groups which are now not equivalent. So we started with equivalent groups, but because of the attrition, we may be left with the groups which were not equivalent. The group equivalence is disturbed, and therefore our result, which we may link with our independent variable, may be difficult to explain because the result may be due to the attrition problem or due to the difference in the groups that will require another alternative explanation for the result.